All right, guys, today we're going to get into some technical analysis, and I wanted to get into the fact that now we are actually seeing implied volatility come back into the market as the daily has crossed down on this MACD. So are we going to be able to build up and see this as some kind of fake out, or are we going to actually retrace back down to the daily expected move outside of the weekly and maybe end up testing that 20? That's something that we will be paying attention to in today's video. I don't have too much time, so I'm going to try to do it all in one shot, and we can talk about stocks some more in the morning because we have some interesting things going on. Going to show off Apple and NVIDIA in a little bit because they're showing contradictory signals. So we do notice the daily has rolled over here. That is confirming on a red bar below the 9-day moving average. So that's very important. We're below the 5, we're below the 9. What if we go test that 20? Well, that is probably in this case, the most probable thing. Now, what we want to pay attention to is the fact that we might have some reversal signals in other stocks to pay attention to, and that's why we're going to talk about NVIDIA in a moment. So at the upside move, 607.01 to the upside and 698.59 to the downside. So if we're going to see a simple turn down to test that 20 on the daily scale, you can just see some kind of run down from the 2-hour down to a daily expected move, and that would be enough to test that 20 at this moment. You do not have any 30-minute signals suggesting that a big bounce at this level or from another level should happen. You're more getting a reaction that says, hey, this could flag out, or this could turn back up to maybe test a daily expected move at 607.01, which is very similar to today. We reacted to the daily expected move today with that continued downside. We never confirmed the move back up here, even though the Qs went and tested their daily expected move. I thought that was very interesting. So what we're paying attention to with the 30-minute is, does it get rejection if it sees a good move in the morning with CPI coming out? That's going to be important. Does that reject off of a daily expected move and just set up the lower high as the MACD is very deep into negative territory, and maybe we see a divergence down in these type of areas? That's something I will really pay attention to over the next couple of days. But we also need to pay attention to tomorrow if it is a strong move. If it is a strong move and it curls up the 2-hour chart, the most probable thing to happen here is test the high, go make a new one, and we'll watch out if that is some kind of trap. But you could see the 2-hour turn up with CPI news. So let's pop over to the Qs real quick and make sure to get you guys those daily expected moves. We have 525.48 to the upside, and we have 515.72 to the downside. Now notice this, the zone that we created. I think this is a great buy zone. The 20 is in this zone, and we know that the big put wall is overall at 510. So that helps us out a lot now. Now we have a ton of info that we can look into for tomorrow. Now, is this the most selling that we could see here? No, this could continue because the 2-hour is still turned down. The 30 minutes not showing reversal just yet. But relatively, you would say A, B, C. This might be played out, and maybe you see one more crappy move to the upside. We'll see what happens with that. But if this 2-hour turns up, be open to divergence, but also be open to it violating the divergence. This is a very bullish move. It's very, very bullish. It's been bullish ever since we called out that we were looking for this right here. It's been bullish. We had one blip moment, and then it's bullish ever since. So this is a very bullish move, and I want you to be aware of it. It can end if it starts to give us some signals. Right? We're not seeing those daily signals just yet, so we don't even need to talk about it. The 30-minute here, something interesting is this one is a little closer to positive territory, but still be open to that liquidity grab to just actually head lower. The more risky thing would be like if this move is lackluster and then it just falls back down again, look for some kind of divergence maybe down here if we're going to see reversal. We do not see that at this moment, so the 30-minute going up, still want to be open to a lower high on the 30-minute. The little head and shoulders might have already pretty much played out, which is something we were pointing out. But look how the daily expected move for tomorrow, it literally moved up just barely, I think, from today, or it might even be the same. And today we actually tested the top side daily expected move for the Q. So very interesting. We tested the top, then we went to the bottom, and then right at this wick is where that bottom side daily expected move is. And we see a little bit of buying coming in, seeing some buying up after hours right now. So very interesting. Now, we still want to pay attention to this zone down here if things get a little bloodier, and know that we are still above a rising 20-day moving average. So just pay attention to that going forward. On the daily scale, you will notice that the Qs are different from the SPY, and they did not confirm the daily down yet. So that tells us that we could make the next upward move. Be open to managing risk if these things actually do turn up into positive territory. Now, I wanted to show you guys Apple for the bearish case right now. Because Apple, and then we're going to get into NVIDIA, so make sure you stick with me for a sec, but Apple is showing reversal signals now at a key point. And that's when I really like to look at it, right? I could convince myself there's divergences all throughout this, but the reason that I give out weekly expected moves is because that is when those reversal signals should actually be paid attention to. You are seeing that right now. Not only do you have a weekly expected move and you're slightly above it, you have the monthly expected move here as well. They're pretty much right on top of each other. So Apple is at the point that says, hey, by the end of the week, we have a 68% chance to land lower than this. By the end of the month, we have a 68% chance to land lower than this. So just pay attention to that with Apple. This is a 30-minute signal that likes to roll down 2 hours. The problem with the 2 hour is you do have 2 hour divergence that's kind of wonky, but trying to confirm. And so we might see soon a 2 hour pullback because this is so positive. You have to be open to this making another move higher before that trap is fully set, or a daily pullback. Now, this could just keep running. This is pointing straight up. So I'm not saying that I'm going to short this because this is a crazy good move so far, and it could just keep continuing. But these are signals you see when it's starting to tap out. So is this overall going to be bearish if it even turns down on the daily scale? Well, no, because you don't have those signals. You've really violated everything on this move. And so if you're going to see another upside move or look for an opportunity, you might see this come all the way down and to test that breakout area down towards 236 and then curl up into positive territory for the next move higher. Once we make that next move higher, that is when I would be more worried about some bigger reversal for Apple. Now, I do want to bring up NVIDIA because it's a contradictory signal. You're getting mixed signals going into CPI tomorrow, and I think you should be aware of it. NVIDIA dropping down, dropping down, dropping down. The daily still is within range to turn up and go positive. So be aware and be like, hey, does this have a chance to curl up? Well, let's look at the 2 hour. No real reversal signals from the 2 hour. We note real quick that everyone's paying attention to the head and shoulders that we mentioned back in these areas. Head and shoulders, everyone's mentioning it, but no one's paying attention to the potential for a slanted head and shoulders in the other direction. So we're paying attention to that. If this 2 hour turns up, the most likely thing to happen, if it crosses and goes positive and it doesn't see some kind of little 30-minute divergence in here, the most likely thing to happen is you're going to take out this high and probably go make a new one, and you probably will be curling up a daily chart if you make that strong move. So pay attention if that thing goes positive. Now, this is important to watch because does the 2 hour have a good chance of turning up? Well, the 30-minute, if you weren't part of this channel or if you were, we were talking about this signal. It is a reversal signal. It's just not the best one. Right? This is not the best reversal signal, but it is one, and we were coming down pretty fast, and you notice we went up pretty fast after we made a little reversal signal. That signal was on the MACD, not on the RSI at the same time. Okay, but it was below a weekly expected move where we made that signal. So where are we at right now? Right now, you are below a weekly expected move, and you have no divergence here on the MACD anymore. It kind of got rid of it. But if you look at that RSI, you're going, uh-oh, but there is a divergence on the RSI here. So if the MACD can turn up, this might be a better, it's pretty much saying, if this 30-minute can see a good move, we actually can see that 2 hour turn up over time. So it doesn't have to be up in one shot, but that is saying, hey, this has the potential to reverse up from here. This is a very bullish trend, so I am more inclined to pay attention to bullish looks in the market, and that's why I'm really paying attention to NVIDIA, giving this signal outside of a weekly expected move, even without the divergence on the MACD right now, because you're in this zone of support that we have found multiple times in the past. We have to pay attention to upside, and we are getting a reversal signal right now. It just hasn't confirmed. So I want you to be aware of it because everyone is looking at the head and shoulders. Everyone's looking at the head and shoulders in that direction. I just want you to be aware that this one can play out too in the opposite direction. Now, what I wanted to do was look at AMC and GME. AMC seeing a little bit of positivity. If you want that thing to pop, got to get through 529. Very important to realize these are not good signals right now. We have to really flip things around for this thing to get bullish. You have to see a daily get positive. You have to see a 2 hour go positive. You have to see a 30-minute get into positive territory for this to really see a good run. Then you have a chance to get through 529, but that's where the fight really begins. Remember last week where that daily or that weekly expected move was, and remember what happened at it. That is where everything started to flush. So you have to hold these levels to really see something crazy, but very cool because we marked off 437 right when the massive move happened. People asked me, where's it going to go to? And we just saw 437 seem like a good support level from the past. So that's a level we were paying attention to. We see a reaction from there. We like to see it. All the moving averages are turning down. You're going to need to flip those back to pointing back up to see positivity. GME is what we really need to talk about, though, because that thing was, hey, yeah, it looks terrible throughout the day, but notice earnings is a good thing for now. A lot can change by morning. A lot can change by morning. What do you need to see positivity? Well, you need the daily, the 2 hour, and the 30 minutes all be positive at the same time for this guy, and you got to get above 34.90. Now, is getting above 34.90 good enough? No, you have to win the battle. This is where the battle really begins for these stocks. So just pay attention to that. I myself am not going to get too excited about some kind of little gap up here, even though it's 5.64. I think it was up 10% at some point. Just know the market maker is already aware of what the options market is pricing in. They are already most likely prepared because of that E down there to fight the stock, and they are definitely prepared to fight the stock anywhere below 34.90. So if you want to get bullish, you got to take that back. Last thing I want to talk about was volatility. Volatility did curl up on a positive bar of 0.07 at the end of the day. Remember that volatility yesterday was up 11.13%. That just means to us, okay, we need to be aware that there can be some kind of green day in the next 2 trading sessions, meaning tomorrow you do have an 85% chance for some kind of green day in the market, okay, with the SPY. So that's what we're paying attention to. Now, the reason I'm paying attention to that is because, one, NVIDIA is giving divergence, and 2, is that going to be consolidative? It does not have to be some kind of massive reversal, but if it is going to be one, this would make sense. The 30-minute is coming up to the key level. It was not able to fully break through here, and that's a problem because you actually created this point where if you rolled down, you could go negative very quickly. This 2 hour could curl down, and you could at least see some kind of pullback that could turn back up into positive territory. Now, if that is going to go negative, that daily flips right back down the next day. We see some kind of massive bullish move or something like that. The 2 hours cross up on the SPY. You might actually end up seeing this turn all the way down to 12.12, and then we'll start to see those reactions. Will get tight, and then most likely volatility will be coming in at the end of December or towards 2025, January of 2025, and I wanted you to be aware of it. Okay, so just keep that in mind. A lot can change tomorrow. We do have a lot going on. We have NVIDIA giving a reversal signal saying, hey, I want to kind of go up from here. It's outside of a weekly expected move. We have Apple that is at or above its weekly and monthly expected move, showing reversals to go down. So you kind of have mixed signals there. You have volatility giving you a signal that says, hey, I could turn down here, but also I'm curling up on a daily chart. So you have very mixed signals going into tomorrow. It is a very important time to manage risk, manage your trade, and trade like water. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. I'm sorry that it had to be a little bit of a short and sweet video, but hopefully you were able to take away something from it, and hopefully it is helpful for you going into tomorrow. If you have more to talk about, you can join us live tomorrow morning. I will be live to talk about stocks with you guys in the morning as the market opens. So thank you guys for watching to the end. Really appreciate you. I hope you guys have a fantastic night, and good luck trading tomorrow. All right, peace out.